Okay, so now we're going to be starting multi-step equations. All right, and in the multi-step equations, you're going to have to be doing a lot of combining like terms. All right, so let's take a look at number one right here. All right, so on number one, okay, we've got four terms on the left side. Okay, the most that you ever want on any side is 2. All right, so right now we've got 4. We need to break it down to 2. So what we can do is we can combine those two terms. 9x minus 7x is 2x. We can also combine these two terms. Okay, 1 minus 5 is negative 4 equals negative 20. And then it just becomes a two-step equation. Okay, you would add 4 to the other side. You would get, and that cancels out, you would get 2x equals negative 16. And then divide by 2, x equals negative 8. All right, going to number 2. Okay, what we've got is we've got a negative 7 right beside a parenthesis, so we know we need to distribute. So I'm just going to drop this 91 down, and then I'm going to take negative 7 and distribute it. So negative 7 times 3a is negative 21a. Negative 7 times negative 1 is positive 7. All right, now it just becomes a two-step equation. We're going to subtract 7, okay? 91 minus 7, so 91, punch it in. 91 minus 7 is 84, equals negative 21a. Divide by negative 21, and you get a equals negative 4. And that's your answer. All right, going to number 3. Okay, on number 3, so what we've got is we've got 4m and then minus 5, but the minus 5 is right next to a parenthesis. So we know that we need to distribute that negative 5 before we do anything else. So the 4m is just going to drop down. All right, and then we're going to have, make that m look a little bit better. And then we're going to have negative 5 times 3m, which is negative 15m. Negative 5 times 10 is negative 50, equals 126. Now, we can combine like terms. Okay, you see the two m's right there? We need to combine those. So what we've got there is 4m minus 15m would be negative 11m. Minus 50 equals 126. So we would add 50 to the other side. We get negative 11m equals 176. Divide by negative 11, and we're going to get m equals negative 16. And that's your answer. All right, going up to number 4. Okay, so what we've got is we've got a negative 3 beside a parenthesis, and then we've got a negative sign beside a parenthesis. Okay, and this negative sign, if you guys remember what I've told you before, this negative sign is technically a negative 1, okay, beside the parenthesis, technically. So we're actually going to distribute twice. We're going to distribute a negative 3, and we're going to distribute a negative 1. So let's do it one thing at a time. Let's do the negative 3 first. So negative 3 times k is negative 3k. Negative 3 times negative 8 is positive 24. Now let's distribute the negative 1. Negative 1 times k is negative 1k. Negative 1 times 5 is negative 5 equals 23. All right, so now we've got 4 terms on the left side. We only want a maximum of 2 on each side. Okay, if you got more than 2 on each side, then you probably more than likely can combine like terms. Okay, so obviously we've got k's that can combine. So negative 3k minus 1k is negative 4k. Then we can also combine this right here. Okay, we've got 24 minus 5, which is 19. Okay, so that would be plus 19. So that's a positive 19. All right, and then now it just comes down to a two-step equation. Subtract 19. That cancels out. You get negative 4k equals 4. Divide by negative 4. K equals negative 1. And that's your answer. All right. Last one on the multi-step equations for the notes. All right. So what we've got here is we've got a 10x minus 6, which is right next to a parenthesis. So again, okay, the negative 6 is beside the parenthesis. So you need to distribute the negative 6. So the 20 equals, and the 10x just dropped down. All right, so negative 6 times 2x is negative 12x. Negative 6 times 5 is negative 30. All right, so now we've got 3 terms on the right side. Again, you only want a maximum of 2. Okay, if you have more than 2, you can combine like terms most of the time. All right, so we're going to combine those two. So 10 minus 12 is negative 2. So we've got negative 2x minus 30, drop down the 20. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add 30 to the other side. And I'm going to write it over here because I'm running out of room. So we've got 50 equals negative 2x, divide by negative 2, and we get x equals negative 25. And that should hopefully help everybody out with the examples for multi-step equations. All right, and you can refer back to this while you're doing